एष देवो महादेवो योऽसौ पार्थ तवाग्रतः संग्रामे शात्रवान् निघ्नं त्वया दृष्टः पिनाकदृक् सिन्धुराज वदार्ताय प्रतिज्ञाते त्वया नग कृष्णेन दर्शितः स्वप्ने यस्तु शैलेन्द्रमूर्धनि. He says, "Oh Arjuna," he ends here describing the glories of Lord Shiva. He himself says, we saw that yesterday where Vyasacharya himself says, even I cannot describe the glories of Lord Shiva. Even in thousands and thousands of years, I cannot describe the glories of Lord Shiva completely. Even Vishnu cannot do it. Even Brahma cannot do it. Adisesha cannot do it. With his 1,000 mouths. No one can do it. Or Lakshmi also cannot do it. So, there he says, and then he ends here, and then, this is that Mahadeva, oh dear Arjuna, who is armed with the Pinaka. Pinakam bibradagahi Rudram. He is holding the Pinaka bow. And then, so he is armed with that Pinaka, oh Mahadeva. This is that Mahadeva who actually went in, who appeared in front of your chariot and killed all your enemies. Before even you killed them, he actually killed them. And your arrows were hitting actually the dead bodies. So that's the answer that he gives to the question that was asked by Arjuna. We saw that, right? Arjuna comes with a question. Ashwatthama also comes with a question to Vyasa. Vyasa connects that to Shiva Paratmam. And Arjuna also comes. Arjuna says, oh, who is that personality? For all the 15 days, I don't feel like I was hitting my enemies. When I hit an arrow against my enemy, there is some other personality who comes in front of my arrow and hits my enemy, and he disappears. So I feel like my arrows are hitting the dead bodies. Who is that personality? Please enlighten me, Vyasa. I don't know. I'm totally confused. And then, oh dear Arjuna, there is nothing to be confused. And then he starts off by saying that firstborn, that there is no that birthless personality himself has favored you and Krishna in this war, and that's why you're able to win the war. And that's what he answers this question. He, that Mahadeva, who is holding the Pinaka bow, has come and slayed your enemies. And he has come in front of your chariot and he was killing all your enemies, favoring you and Krishna in this war, oh dear. And then Sindhuraja Vadarthaya Pratignyate Tvayanaga. No, Arjuna, we saw Sindhuraja, this connection is there. Sindhuraja is actually that, he was the brother-in-law of Duryodhana. Duryodhana, there were 100 Kauravas, right? And then to the 100 Kauravas, there was one sister named Dushala. So Jayadratha, that is Sindhuraja, is Jayadratha who married Dushala. So Jayadratha, what he did was, he killed, I don't want to go into detail, but externally I'm saying, because I want to explain this verse told by Vyasa. So Sindhuraja, what he did, Jayadratha, he killed Abhimanyu through deceit. He was not the one who killed Abhimanyu, but he, stopped the Pandavas. Krishna and Arjuna were fighting at a different place, and he stopped the other 4 Pandavas in getting into the Chakravyuha. So he was the ultimate cause of Abhimanyu being killed by 8 warriors at the same time. So, and then he takes a pratignya. Arjuna takes a vow. If I don't kill Jayadratha in the next, by next day morning, by next day evening, before tomorrow's sunset, I will, burn myself. I will jump into the fire, and then, suicide. So that's the vow he takes. And then here also Vyasa connects that Sindhuraja Vadarthaya Pratignyate Tvayanaga. Everyone were trying to protect Sindhuraja that day. It was very terrible for, it was very difficult for Partha, that is Arjuna, to go near Sindhuraja, that is Jayadratha. It was very, very difficult. And then that night, so that was, I think, the 14th day, if I'm not wrong. So 13th day he takes the vow, and then that night, the 13th day night, the time he takes the vow, and that day, so Krishna was confused. He has taken this kind of a vow, and then that day he takes him to Lord Shiva. So this is there again, it comes in Mahabharata Drona Parva. It's a very interesting thing. So there is one thing that everyone knows is in Vanaparva, where Arjuna, he goes and then he takes the Pashupata. He gets the Maha Pashupata. He doesn't use it in the war. But Krishna at a later point in Karna Parva says, just by having the Pashupata weapon, you have the blessings of Lord Shiva, oh my dear Arjuna, so no one can defeat you in the war. Just by having the Pashupata, you have become powerful. So, he gets the Mahapashupata weapon from, that is one story that is present in Vanaparva. But again, Arjuna, he forgets the mantras to invoke the Pashupata weapon. In the Drona Parva, on the 13th day night, Krishna takes him to Lord Shiva. And both of them recite Rudram, Shatarudriyam 11 times. Namo Bhavaya Devaya. Even the stuti they do to Lord Shiva in the mountain, after going to the, because Mahadeva is also described as, the Lord of mountains. Girishaya cha Shipipishthaya cha namo, Midustamaya cha Shumate cha namo. Oh, Rudram says. Himavad Giri Kanyakaha. He is the Lord of mountains. Paro Mujavatoti. Mujavat is also a mountain that comes in that the word comes in the Vedas. So he is the Lord of mountains, and then there actually they do a stuti that also matches with the Rudram verses, and then they recite 11 times Rudram, and then Arjuna, he becomes, Arjuna, both of them recite, Arjuna and Krishna recites, and then Arjuna gets the Pashupata weapon. He remembers the mantras to invoke the Pashupata weapon, and then next day he goes to kill the Sindhuraja, and then he defeats Sindhuraja Vadartaya. So that's what Vyasa reminds him. So that part also becomes authentic now. Because Vyasa mentions that part here. Sindhuraja Vadartaya. In order to kill you took a vow to kill the ruler of Sindhus, the Sindhuraja, that is Jayadratha. And that night, that previous night, you remember Arjuna, Krishna showed you this personality, Mahadeva, who was sitting on the top of that foremost of mountains, Shailendra Murdani. Shaila means mountain. Who was sitting on the top of that foremost of mountains. You remember, Krishna showed you this God only. So this God only I have been describing for a long time to you. This God is that personality whom I cannot describe even in thousands and thousands of years, oh dear Arjuna. So that's what. And there also another interesting, we can take up that topic that is quite interesting. There also, if you see, Arjuna was also confused after, he doesn't know, he had taken an oath, but he did not know whether he would be able to accomplish that vow. And then that day, that night, Arjuna actually worships Krishna with flowers, Vasudeva. And then when Krishna and Arjuna, Krishna takes him to, Lord Shiva, and then completely he was surprised. Arjuna was surprised. So a very interesting thing, I wanted to mention this. So Arjuna was surprised because the flowers that he offered to Krishna were lying at the feet of Lord Shiva. So which means that whichever God you worship, ultimately that worship goes to Mahadeva and he grants the boons ultimately. So that flowers is present in Drona Parvam. I don't remember the chapter number. Probably the 77th or 78th chapter I can confirm in my next class. But he sees the flowers lying at the feet of Lord Shiva. And then he's stunned. Wow. And then both of them start worshipping Lord Shiva. And then he gets the Pashupata again. So that's what Vyasa says. This is the God, this Mahadeva whom I described for, so much. And this is the God that Krishna showed you that night, when you took a vow to kill Jayadratha, who was sitting on the top of the foremost of mountains. Oh dear Arjuna. Eshavai Bhagavan Devak Samgrame Yati Te Grataha Yenat Dattani Testrani Yaistvaya Danava Hataha Danyam Yashasya Mayushyam Punyam Vedaischa Sammitam Devadevasya Te Partha Vyakyatam Shatarudriyam. We saw yesterday he mentioned about Shatarudriyam, which is the foremost section within the entire Vedas. There is not a hymn that is equal to Rudram, which is only referring to Lord Shiva, not to demigod, not to other devatas like Brahma, Vishnu or Indra, not to Rama, Krishna or Narasimha. It is only referring to Lord Shiva. That Shatarudriyam, he mentions it again, second time he mentions. Yesterday we saw he mentioned it once to Arjuna and then again he mentions. He was the one who he proceeded and in advance in your he was the one who stood in front of your chariot and killed your enemies, O Partha. And then it was he who gave you the weapons to slay the Danavas. Now he gave the Pashupata weapon. Just by having the Pashupata weapon, he became powerful. He did not use that, but he became powerful. Now Pashupata, Upamanyu Maharshi says that Pashupata is so powerful that if you invoke that, it can even destroy Brahma and Vishnu and even the entire universe. Such powerful is that Mahapashupata weapon, which even Brahmastra or Indrastra or Narayanastra cannot match even a little. So that powerful is that Pashupata weapon. So he was the one who gave you the weapons. He was the one who, defeated all your enemies in the war. It was not you or Krishna. So that's why he named the title as Lord Shiva, the hero of the Mahabharata war, not Krishna or Arjuna. And then the hymn approved in the Vedas, which is called as Shatarudriyam, is in honor of that Mahadeva, the god of gods, Deva Devasya. It is honoring that Devadeva Mahadeva. Shatarudriyam is honoring that god Mahadeva alone. Life enhancing hymn. It is the foremost of all the hymns. Also that gives you all prosperity and leads you to moksha. Tasmat avimuktam ashruto bhavati. Kaivalya Upanishad says, so agniputo bhavati, surapanat puto bhavati, sabrahmahatyayat puto bhavati, sakritya krityat puto bhavati, tasmad avimuktam ashruto bhavati. Just by chanting Shatarudriyam, which is the foremost of all the hymns, the sin of drinking alcohol would perish. The sin of trying to possess another man's wife will perish. That is also the foremost of sins actually. Desiring for another man's wife is a big sin. And then stealing gold is a big sin. And then killing of a Brahmana is a big sin. So these things, all these sins will perish by chanting the Shatarudriyam. And then Tasmat avimuktam ashruto bhavati. What is avimukta? Kashi, Varanasi, Benares, Rudravasa, and then you have Avimukta. Different names are there for that Kashi, the place of moksha. You attain that moksha by chanting the Shatarudriyam, Kaivalya Upanishad, hence by saying that. So that's what is described by Vyasa here. O Partha, that is that hymn that is glorifying that infinite Mahadeva. And then Sarvartha sadhanam punyam, sarva kilbisha nashanam, sarva papa prashamanam, sarva dukkha bhayapaham, chaturvidam idam stotram yakshrinoti naraksada vijitya shatrun sarvan sa rudraloke mahiyate. One attains, after, by chanting that hymn, which is present in all the four Vedas, all the sins will perish. The same thing that is told in Kaivalya Upanishad and Atharva Shiras Upanishad. All the sins perish. And then you go back to Mahadeva. You go back to the imperishable region of Lord Shiva, Parakailasha. And then you don't return from there. Tasma, Nacha Punara Vartate. Kalagni Rudra Upanishad says, Nacha Punara Vartate, Nacha Punara Vartate. There is no return after that. So, and then the people also succeed in vanquishing, destroying their enemies. And then, so Bhakto Vishveshwaram Devam Manusheshu Chayak Sada Varan Kamansa Labhate Prasanne Trembake Naraha Gacha Yuddhasya Kaunteya Natavasti Parajayaha Yasya Mantri Cha Gopta Cha Parshvasto Hi Janardanaha. So, just, whoever listens to this, and he worships, whoever listens to this episode, wonderful episode, and then worships that illustrious Lord of the universe, three-eyed Mahadeva, so he will grant whatever, Lord Shiva will grant whatever that Jivatma wants. Whatever you ask for, it will be granted by Lord Shiva in course of time. So whoever hears this wonderful episode, that's what Vyasa says. And then go and fight, O son of Kunti. Sharanam Gacha Kaunteya. You have Janardana for you. Janardana is your charioteer. And you both are devotees of Lord Shiva. Indra's Amsha is Arjuna. Narayana's Amsha is Krishna. Go and, fight, O son of Kunti. So you both are devotees of Lord Shiva, and then no one can defeat you. So that's what is, and then Vyasa ends there. And then Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Muktarjunam Samkye Parashara Sutastada Jagama Bharata Shreshta Yatagatam Arindama. And then Arjuna, having heard the words of the son of Parashara, because Parashara was also a great devotee of Lord Shiva, Parashara Upapuranam confirms that. And then Parashara's son is Vyasa. So having heard the words told by the son of Parashara Muni, the chief of Bharatas, Bharata Shreshta, he's the greatest, he's one of the greatest warriors, Arjuna. So he is described as, Bharata Shreshta. He went away, he went from that place seeking the blessings of Lord Shiva, and then Vyasa, and then he went away to kill his foes, to kill his enemies in the battle, because there were 3 more days of battle there at that time. 15 days of battle was over. 3 more days of battle were there. And then Yuddham Krutva Mahadvoram Panchahani Mahabalaha Brahmano Nihato Rajan Brahmalokam Avaptavan Swadite Yatvalam Tede Tadasminnapi Parvani Kshatriyanam Abhirunam Yuktamatra Mahadyashaha. So Drona, Drona was the commander-in-chief of the Kauravas for 5 days, right? Bhishma for 10 days and Drona for 5 days. And after he was the commander-in-chief for 5 days, he attained the region of Brahmalokam. And then, the fruit, the results, this is the end of the Parva. The Drona Parva ends with the episode glorifying Lord Shiva. So, and then Sanjaya says, whoever, reads this Parva, specific section within this Parva, will get the result of, will get the results that arises from the study of the Vedas. Whatever, when you study the Vedas, you get some results, right? So, that result you get by studying this section within the Parva. And then, the great achievements of brave Kshatriyas are described here, Sanjaya says. And then he says, and then he completes the last 2 verses. Ya idam patate parva shrinuyad vapi nityashaha samuchyate mahapapai kritair goraischa karmabihi yajnavaptir brahmanasyeha nityam gore yuddhe kshatriyanam yasascha sheshau varnau kamamishtam labete putran pautran nityamishtam stataiva. So he who reads this Parva, Drona Parva, or the specific section within the Drona Parva, the interesting section is the last 2 episodes, as we know, which confirms Lord Shiva is the ultimate cause of everything and ultimate cause of Brahma and Vishnu also, and he was the one who gave the weapons to Arjuna in this battle, and he was the one who favored Arjuna and Krishna in this battle to defeat his enemies. So since he is the hero, and then whoever reads that, will get free of the most Gora Papa, will get free from even the most heinous sins that they have done in their life and the previous lives. And Brahmanas, by reading this, will obtain the fruits of the sacrifices, yajna, whatever, whenever you do a yajna, you will get some results, and Brahmanas will obtain that by reading this section. Kshatriyas may obtain victory in battle by reading this. And then, whoever reads this will have, sons and grandsons, and all their objects of desire will be fulfilled. That's what it ends. And then, so this is how it ends. And so thank you for supporting me. It was just like the episode of Upamanyu. I enjoyed giving the lecture on Upamanyu, and like that, this is an important piece within the entire Mahabharata. Very, very important, which has been authenticated even by Bhatta Bhaskara. We saw that in the beginning of the class. So very authentic piece within the entire Mahabharata, which confirms the supremacy of Lord Shiva. And people think that Ramayana, Mahabharata, Ramayana is about Rama, Mahabharata is about Krishna. Very wrong misconception. It's only talking about Lord Shiva. Even Valmiki Ramayanam talks about Lord Shiva only, and even Mahabharatam talks about Lord Shiva only. So there is no doubt about that. So people are, in misconception. But so all these things, confirm. Even verses from Linga Purana are repeated by Vyasa to Arjuna in this Mahabharata.